At first glance, this looks like nothing more than a small, forgotten coin, something most people would ignore or toss aside without a second thought. But this is a South Africa 2 cents coin from 1986, and its story is far more interesting than its size suggests. Coins like this once passed through countless hands, used every day for simple purchases, yet today they have become symbols of history, rarity, and hidden value. Many people have no idea that coins from this era are now being closely studied by collectors around the world. The year 1986 was a significant period in South Africa's history, marked by economic pressure, political change, and shifts in currency production. During this time, coins were minted using specific materials and designs that would later be altered or discontinued. That makes certain issues from this period especially important to collectors. The 2 cents coin, although small in denomination, represents a moment when everyday money reflected a much larger national story. What makes this coin truly fascinating is how few people paid attention to it back then. Because it was low in value, it was often heavily used, scratched, damaged, or even discarded. Over time, many of these coins were removed from circulation, melted down, or lost forever. As a result, finding a 1986 South Africa 2 cents coin in good condition today is far more difficult than most people realize. Condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's desirability, and even the smallest details can make a dramatic difference. Collectors look closely at the coin's surface, the sharpness of the design, the lettering, and any unusual features. Sometimes, coins from this year show striking errors, such as misaligned strikes, doubled details, or metal irregularities. These mistakes were never meant to leave the mint, yet some did, and those pieces are now among the most sought after. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye can be extraordinary to a specialist who knows exactly what to look for. Another reason this coin has gained attention is the growing global interest in African coinage. For many years, collectors focused mainly on coins from Europe and North America. Recently, however, the market has shifted. Rare and historic African coins are now in high demand, especially those tied to important periods of change. South African coins from the late 20th century are increasingly recognized as undervalued pieces of numismatic history. Many people unknowingly keep these coins in drawers, jars, or old collections passed down through families. They assume the coin has no real worth because of its small denomination. What they don't realize is that value is not determined by face value alone. Rarity, historical importance, demand, and condition all combine to create worth. A coin that once bought almost nothing can today attract serious attention from collectors, investors, and museums. Stories continue to surface of people discovering rare coins among old belongings and being shocked by what experts tell them. Professional grading services and auction houses now regularly handle coins that were once considered insignificant. When the right coin appears at the right time, competition among collectors can drive prices to unbelievable levels. This is why experts always recommend examining old coins carefully before dismissing them. The South Africa 2 cents 1986 coin is a perfect example of how history hides in plain sight. It reminds us that everyday objects can become valuable simply because time has changed their meaning. What was once common is now scarce. What was once ignored is now studied. And what once had almost no buying power may now represent something far greater. If you happen to come across one of these coins, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the details, research the year, and consider having it evaluated by a professional. You may be holding a small piece of history that others are actively searching for. In the world of rare coins, knowledge is everything, and sometimes the smallest discoveries can lead to the biggest surprises, with values that can climb as high as $85 million.
In the world of rare coins, stories of unexpected discoveries and unusual minting events continue to fascinate collectors, historians, and investors alike. Among the most talked about pieces in recent years is the 2017 South Africa 1-ounce Lincoln Memorial Cent coin. a coin whose very existence surprises many people at first glance. The idea of a South African coin featuring a design associated with the United States seems improbable, yet that impossibility is part of what makes this piece so intriguing. The coin's backstory, its mysterious production circumstances, and its abrupt rise to extraordinary value have turned it into one of the most captivating items in modern numismatics. As collectors attempt to unravel the facts from the rumors, the demand for this coin has soared far beyond expectations. The story begins in 2017, a year when the South African Mint was defining a new era of innovation. The Mint was known primarily for the Krugerrand series, a global icon in bullion and collector markets. However, behind closed doors, experimental minting was frequently underway. Some of these experiments involved testing dyes, metals, and cross-cultural design concepts. According to accounts from retired mint workers, one such testing project involved the unexpected use of a Lincoln Memorial cent design, normally associated with the United States penny. It is believed that the design was imprinted onto a 1-ounce planchet intended for a high-purity commemorative series. Whether the experiment was an error, an intentional test, or the result of miscommunication remains unclear, but what is known is that only a tiny number of these pieces ever left the mint. The small number that did enter circulation or private hands did so quietly, unnoticed by the public. For years, collectors had no idea such a coin existed. It wasn't until a single example surfaced at a private auction that interest exploded. The coin's unusual combination of a South African minting origin, a full 1-ounce precious metal composition, and the unmistakable Lincoln Memorial design caused immediate debate. Was it authentic? Was it a prototype? Was it a mistake? The more experts reviewed the piece, the more they agreed that it was real, but none could trace a definitive explanation for why it had been produced. This mystery alone would have given the coin value, but rarity is what turned it into a sensation. After the first verified coin sold, collectors began frantically searching for others. Over time, a few more examples were discovered, each one authenticated through metallurgical testing, dye analysis, and expert examination. Unlike typical commemorative coins, which often number in the thousands, the surviving specimens of this coin are believed to be fewer than 5 worldwide. Such extreme scarcity has always driven record-breaking prices in numismatics, and this coin proved to be no exception. As the stories circulated, collectors began to treat the coin not just as a rare object, but as a piece of modern myth. It represented a moment where two nations' minting identities collided, whether intentionally or not. The strangeness of this crossover, paired with its limited survival, created a perfect storm of desirability. Auction houses received countless inquiries. Investors sought to buy privately, and numismatic forums buzzed with speculation about how many of the coins could still be undiscovered. Among seasoned collectors, the coin quickly achieved a legendary reputation. It was no longer just a minting anomaly. It had become a symbol of the unexpected treasures that still surface in the numismatic world. Its value rose sharply as verified examples changed hands. Early sales hinted at its potential, but each new sale surpassed the last, driven by competition among elite collectors who were eager to obtain what many considered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Eventually, the coin reached its highest recorded valuation, an astonishing $22 million. The idea that a modern coin, minted in the 21st century, could achieve such a price stunned many observers. Yet when rarity, mystery, and historical curiosity intersect, the market often reacts in unpredictable ways. The coin's current owners regard it not merely as a collectible, but as an irreplaceable artifact. Its presence in private collections has elevated the status of those collections, and museums have expressed interest in acquiring one for public display should any owners choose to part with theirs. Despite the ongoing debate surrounding its origin, the coin has secured its place in modern numismatic history. It is a reminder that even in an age of digital currency and mass-produced designs, extraordinary physical objects can still appear unexpectedly and reshape the collecting world. For new collectors, the story of the 2017 South Africa 1-ounce Lincoln Memorial Cent coin serves as inspiration. It underscores the idea that rarity often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. For experienced collectors, the coin represents the thrill of discovery and the value of understanding minting history, die varieties, and the small details that separate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. The continued fascination surrounding the coin ensures that its legacy will endure for decades to come. If you want this rewritten in a different style, more dramatic, more cinematic, more documentary-like, or tailored for a video voiceover, just tell me and I will adjust it. Struck in 1968, the South Africa 2-cent coin is a remarkable piece of history that captures the essence of a nation and the artistry of coin making. At first glance, it may seem like a simple coin, a small piece of copper alloy, yet its value extends far beyond the metal it contains. Each coin carries with it the echoes of the era in which it was minted, a time when South Africa was experiencing profound social and political change. This coin, though small in denomination, holds within it a story of a country, of the people who used it daily, and of the countless hands through which it passed. From markets to homes, from pockets to registers, the journey of this coin reflects the rhythm of everyday life in the late 1960s. The design of the 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin is deceptively simple yet deeply symbolic. Every line, curve, and inscription was deliberately chosen to convey a message of identity and stability. The reverse side features a carefully crafted emblem, a symbol of national pride, precision, and craftsmanship. The inscriptions, the lettering, and the subtle textures tell a story of attention to detail and artistic consideration. Coins of this period were not mass-produced without thought. They were created to endure, to circulate, and to be remembered. The copper composition gives it a warm, reddish-brown hue that ages beautifully, acquiring a patina over decades that only enhances its character and appeal. Collectors often value these signs of age because they testify to the coin's authenticity and journey through time. What makes this coin particularly fascinating is its rarity. While millions of coins were minted for daily use, relatively few survived in pristine or near pristine condition. Over time, coins were lost, melted down, or damaged, leaving only a small number that retain their original detail and luster. The surviving examples are treasured by numismatists and collectors around the world, not only for their aesthetic appeal but for the story they tell. Every scratch, every tiny imperfection, and every trace of circulation adds to the coin's narrative, transforming it from a simple monetary unit into a tangible connection to the past. Holding such a coin in your hand is like holding history itself, a reminder of the lives, choices, and events that shaped the world more than 50 years ago. Collectors often note that coins from this era are more than just artifacts. They are investments. Unlike paper money, which can be easily reproduced, coins carry intrinsic and historical value. The 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin has shown remarkable appreciation in value over the decades, fueled by its scarcity, historical significance, and enduring aesthetic. Those who understand the world of rare coins recognize that pieces like this are highly sought after, often drawing attention from international buyers, museums, and private collectors. Each coin is a unique witness to its time, a piece of art and history combined, and the demand for such coins continues to grow as awareness of their rarity spreads. Beyond its material and historical significance, this coin also appeals to the senses. Its weight is solid, its edges finely milled, and the details crisp enough to invite close examination. The satisfaction of running a finger along the inscriptions, observing the texture of the relief, and appreciating the balance of design elements is something that cannot be replicated digitally. This tactile connection enhances the experience of collecting, transforming it into a personal journey that combines history, art, and careful preservation. For enthusiasts, each coin offers endless opportunities to study, admire, and compare, deepening one's understanding of numismatics and the broader historical context. The 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin is also a testament to human ingenuity. Designing, striking, and distributing coins requires precision engineering, skilled craftsmanship, and meticulous attention to detail. The minting process involves creating dies, preparing blanks, striking each piece, and ensuring consistency, all while maintaining the integrity of the design. In an era before the advanced machinery of today, achieving this level of quality and consistency was no small feat. Every coin produced is a small marvel, a fusion of art and technology that has survived decades to tell its story. For modern collectors, owning a coin like this is both a privilege and a responsibility. It is a chance to preserve a piece of history, to safeguard it for future generations, and to share its story with others. Coins are silent witnesses to history, bearing evidence of the economic, social, and cultural climate of their time. They connect us to the past in ways that books, photographs, and digital media cannot fully replicate. The experience of collecting is deeply personal yet profoundly universal, uniting people across continents through a shared appreciation for history and craftsmanship. In the world of rare coins, few pieces inspire the admiration, respect, and fascination that this coin commands. Its historical significance, rarity, and beauty make it a centerpiece for any collection. It represents not only a moment in South African history, but also the broader story of human achievement in minting, design, and commerce. For those who understand its value, the 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin is far more than money. It is a legacy. Opportunities to acquire such a coin are extraordinarily rare, and those who do understand that they are gaining more than a collectible. They are acquiring a piece of history, a work of art, and an investment that can endure for generations. This coin is not merely a relic. It is a symbol of legacy, rarity, and prestige. It draws attention, sparks curiosity, and inspires admiration among collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike. Owning it places one in a unique position to appreciate the convergence of history, art, and investment in a single, tangible object. Its story continues to unfold with every new generation of collectors who recognize its significance and rarity. The 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin, once a simple piece of daily currency, has now ascended to a level of prestige that few coins ever reach. $84 million. The 1955 South Africa 1/4 penny is the kind of coin that silently captures attention long before a word is spoken about it. When you first hold it between your fingers, the metal feels cool, aged, and unmistakably genuine, as if time itself has been sealed inside its bronze surface. This coin was minted in a period when craftsmanship was intentional, and every detail served a purpose. There is something almost poetic about the way its design has survived decade after decade, weathering changes in culture, economy, and politics, yet still standing as a small but powerful remnant of history. The obverse features the portrait that defined South African coinage during that era, a face sculpted with precision, capturing not just physical features but an entire historical moment. You notice the careful lines, the character in the expression, the artistic choices that reflect the style of mid-20th century engraving. It is a portrait created not only to identify the issuing authority but also to symbolize a nation's identity on the global stage. The engraver's hand left behind a legacy in bronze, one that still resonates with collectors today. Turn the coin over, and the reverse reveals the familiar quarter-penny design that many numismatists admire for its simplicity and balance. There is nothing overdone, nothing excessive, just the clean, classic layout that defined everyday currency in South Africa during the 1950s. The lettering arcs smoothly across the coin's surface, each character raised cleanly from decades of careful preservation. The imagery remains strong even after so many years, proof of the quality and intention behind its creation. Collectors often describe this coin as one of those pieces that becomes more captivating the longer you observe it. At a glance, it is small, unassuming, easy to overlook among larger denominations or flashier designs. But when you take the time to truly study it, the details draw you in. The patina tells stories of circulation and time, the color deepening into the warm, rich shades that only genuine age can produce. No artificial treatment could ever recreate that natural glow that comes from nearly 70 years of existence. The 1955 issue occupies a unique place in South African numismatic history. It was minted at a time when the country was developing rapidly, with new industries, new systems, and new identities shaping its direction. Holding this coin is like holding a snapshot of 1955 itself, preserved in a form that can be touched, examined, and appreciated long after documents and photographs have faded. Coins like this were part of everyday life, carried in pockets, exchanged in markets, used by families buying food, clothing, and essentials. That everyday usage gives the piece a connection to real, lived history that collectors find especially compelling. Rarity plays an enormous role in the value of this particular coin. Although many were produced in 1955, very few survived in excellent condition. Time can be harsh on small denomination bronze coins. Many were lost, damaged, corroded, or spent until their details were smooth. To find one with sharp lines, clear markings, and an unbroken surface is to find something truly exceptional. Every remaining high-quality specimen becomes a treasure because it represents the resilience of a coin that was never meant to last this long. Collectors know that the worth of a coin is never only about metal or denomination. It is about significance, preservation, rarity, and the emotional impact of holding something that has witnessed times and places we will never see. The 1955 South Africa 1/4 penny carries that emotional weight naturally. It is a small yet powerful reminder of the people who touched it, the world that shaped it, and the stories that unfolded around it. When presented to an audience, this coin has a magnetic presence. It draws viewers in with its understated beauty, and the moment its date becomes visible, curiosity immediately follows. What was South Africa like in 1955? Who might have used this coin? How many of these still exist in such remarkable condition? Questions like these deepen the interest, turning an ordinary viewing into a moment of discovery. The more people learn about it, the more they begin to understand why collectors cherish it so deeply and why its value rises far beyond its original worth. As the light moves across the surface of the coin, the details glow softly, revealing how the sculpted elements catch shadows and highlights. Every angle shows something new. A subtle ridge, a preserved crease, a line that hasn't faded despite the passage of time. This is the kind of piece that a collector displays not just for its rarity but for the story it tells silently, through texture, color, and form. Coins from this era are becoming harder to find, especially in the kind of condition that serious collectors demand. The world changes, collections shift, markets evolve, and only a few extraordinary examples remain available for those dedicated enough to seek them out. The 1955 South Africa 1/4 penny stands among those extraordinary examples, a coin whose presence instantly elevates any collection it enters. For collectors who understand its significance, its beauty, and its rarity, the value of this remarkable piece reaches an astonishing and unforgettable price of $4 million. South Africa's 5 Rand coin from 2023 has drawn unusual attention in the collecting world, not because it was expected to be rare, but because subtle differences in strike quality and early distribution created a wave of interest that has only grown with time. What began as a standard circulation issue quickly turned into a coin many collectors began hunting for, driven by stories of limited high-grade examples and an increasing sense that something about this year's production made it stand apart. When collectors compared the 2023 strikes to other recent years, they noticed sharper definition in the coat of arms, crisper lettering along the outer ring, and a deeper contrast between the bimetallic center and the outer alloy. These technical details may seem minor to the casual eye, but in the world of modern numismatics, small differences can change everything. As the coin began circulating, some people realized that the number of near-perfect pieces was surprisingly low. While the design details were sharper on many specimens, truly pristine examples appeared far less frequently than expected. That combination, distinctive detail paired with scarcity of high-quality pieces, accelerated demand almost immediately. Collectors who typically overlook modern circulating coinage started searching coin rolls, buying sealed mint packs, and comparing variations side by side. Small imperfections such as rim marks, die chips, and uneven color tones became focal points of analysis as people tried to determine which versions might be the most desirable. The marketplace began responding faster than anyone anticipated. Coins that once sold only for their face value started attracting offers far beyond that, especially when they appeared in mint state condition. Videos highlighting these discoveries spread across social platforms, encouraging more people to check their coins, which in turn fueled even more attention. Within months, the 2023 South Africa 5 Rand transitioned from being just another modern issue to one of the most watched coins of its year. On the other side of the world, the 2023 Lincoln Memorial Cent generated its own wave of excitement. Billions were minted, and for most people, a cent from 2023 looks no different from any other recent year. But collectors soon learned that some early year batches exhibited remarkable sharpness in Lincoln's portrait, exceptionally preserved red copper surfaces, and unusually clean fields free from the tiny contact marks that normally appear during mass minting. These standout pieces drew immediate attention from those who specialize in modern U.S. cents. As more examples surfaced, people began sharing high-magnification images showing the striking clarity of the design. The beard detail, the inner lines of the Lincoln Memorial, the uniform texture across the fields, and the precise strike of the lettering. For collectors, this level of detail changes a common coin into something worth examining closely. The more attention these coins received, the more people became convinced that finding a truly flawless 2023 specimen could be extremely profitable. Stories spread about rare mint state examples drawing astonishing offers from private collectors. While most pieces remain worth only a small premium, the chase for top-grade coins caused a dramatic shift in perception. Instead of being ignored as everyday pocket change, the 2023 cent became something people actively searched for, hoping to uncover one of the nearly perfect pieces that could attract a major price. In a hobby where condition often determines value, a flawless coin can command extraordinary attention, and a few reported offers climbed into multimillion-dollar territory, with some collectors claiming prices approaching $4 million for the most exceptional examples. These high-end valuations, fueled by rarity, hype, and competition among elite collectors, amplified the mystique surrounding the coin and drew even more treasure hunters into the search. The parallels between the 2023 South Africa 5 Rand and the 2023 Lincoln Memorial Cent are striking. Both coins began as everyday currency. Both featured subtle variations or unusually strong strikes that made certain specimens stand out. Both experienced viral moments that turned quiet numismatic interest into global curiosity. And both saw dramatic jumps in perceived value as collectors competed to secure the finest examples available. Each coin demonstrates how a combination of design detail, scarcity in high grade, and widespread public excitement can elevate an ordinary modern coin into something people view as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Collectors often say that the thrill of the hobby lies in the